Hey everybody, it's me, Charlotte360. Happy 2020. This is my first video of the new year, and this video is an unboxing of Giriboy's Fatal Album number 3. And I want to apologize ahead of time because my nails are dirty. It's not because I don't wash my hands. It's because I did something that caused me to get stains under my nails, so sorry about that. This album is the biggest album I've ever received in the mail. When I first went to buy this album, I'm like, why is this album $50? Because it was like $47.99 or something. Now that it's here, I totally get why it's so expensive. In fact, I'm surprised it didn't cost $100, to be honest with you. To give you kind of an estimate of the size of it, I have this digipack from Acton Musician, which is about the size of a regular CD case. This is it sitting in the middle of the Giriboy album. Do you see how much real estate we have around it? Like, yes, this thing is massive. And the CD also came with a keychain. So here is the front of the keychain. And then here is the back of the keychain, in case you were wondering. But yeah, this is the biggest thing that I own K-pop wise. It is bigger than any of my season's greetings. It's bigger than my Wings Photobook. It's bigger than my winter, spring, summer collection. It is the biggest K-pop thing I own. So let's get into it. So here is the front of the album. You can see the binding is regular notebook binding. When you flip it over, this is the back of the album. So you can see that right there. I can read Hangul letters, but I don't actually speak Korean, so I don't know what that says. Here is the bottom, and you can see the copyright information and everything else. And then mine did have a ding in the corner, but because of how big and thin this album is, I'm not upset because I realized how hard it was to pack this album. And when I got it, it came with massive amounts of bubble wrap. Like, it was enough bubble wrap for 5 albums, and it still has a little bit of an issue. So I'm not going to complain about that. I bought this at ketchupcd.net. It is currently sold out at Ketchup CD, but you can buy it at Yes Asia as of today. And a few other places probably have it as well. But just be aware, because of how thin and big this album is, it's going to be difficult to get a copy that doesn't have some kind of ding or marking to it. So this is the back of the album. I don't normally start in the back, but I'm starting in the back on this one because the back is where the CD is located, but it's also where the postcards are located. So let me get out the CD real quick. Okay, this is the CD, and the CD is a close-up of a flower. I don't know if that registers on camera, but that's what is basically a blow-up of a floral detail. Put that back in there. And then we have these postcards that are in the back. Did I get them all? Yes, I did. And the postcards are numbered. You can see they've got the numbers at the bottom, and they are numbered on each postcard. So we'll take a look at those. And I spent a lot of time looking at this when I first got it, trying to figure out if the bruises and the bumps are real. Because if it's not real, whoever did it did an excellent job with the makeup. But I have a feeling that these are real bruises and bumps. So if anybody has any theories on that, please let me know. Or if you can confirm, please let me know. But yeah, I think those are real. I think they are. And I don't know what happened, but yeah, it's pretty brutal. The album, when you see it, it's pretty brutal. Oh, puppers. And the puppers. While we're looking at these postcards, let me talk about the album itself. Giriboy is a rapper, in case you didn't know. And he is very, very widely regarded in Korea. His albums always sell out. His early albums are almost impossible to get now. And when you do find them, they sell for couple $100 a piece. His super early albums, they're just not available. Oh, by the way, all the backs are blank, so that's why I wasn't turning them around. So usually when he has a release, if you like his style of music, I recommend getting it as soon as possible, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult for you to find it even 6 months later sometimes. Let's see here. The last Giriboy album I bought before this one was the science fiction music album, and that one is starting to get out of print, but it's not quite yet. The one that came out right before this one, I think it was called 100 Days Education. I'm sure I'm wrong on that. But I want to say that's what it was called. But it's kind of like it's a really neat concept. I'm going to put a link in the description box to Hip Hop Enthusiast, her channel. But she has an unboxing for it, and it's kind of like a study guide, if you will. Like, it's got everything that you would need, I guess, if you were a student and you were taking a course. So it's really, really interesting. I like it a lot. That's fruit, guys. I know it looks really brutal because you've seen all these bruised pictures, but that's fruit, guys. But yeah, he always has pretty interesting concepts for his albums, and the music is top notch. One of the reasons why he is so regarded as a rapper in Korea is because he's just a really talented rapper, number one. But number two, he changes his concepts a lot, which a lot of people appreciate, and the backing tracks for all of his music, it's really good. He brings in really interesting and great guest features for his music. And it's just something that's easy to listen to, in my opinion. I think science fiction music was a lot harder to listen to, but it was because it was a lot more electronic than this one was. But this album, I find it to be a great album for like late nights, rainy days. It's a very chill, laid back sound. So if you like that kind of K-hip-hop, definitely check this one out. Even if you're not going to buy this huge ass album, which I know a lot of you won't, I still think that his music is worth checking out if you like K-hip-hop. All right, so now let's go through the actual photo book itself. Look, that itty bitty photo. All that real estate for that itty bitty photo. But there you go. See, and looking at this, I feel like that's probably not real blood, but I still think that somebody beat the shit out of him, or like he fell and bruised up his face really bad and decided to take photographs of it. So here is everything that's on the first page. And I'm sorry that I can't get it all the way. I can't get the whole image in my camera. I'm so sorry. I know this is not the most professional unboxing in the world. I'm doing the best I can, but this is so big. Oh my gosh, it's almost as big as my table. And this was the picture that I studied the most when I got this album, because I was really looking at him like, okay, it looks like the color is under his skin, which means broken corpuscles. So probably he actually does have this bruising. I spent a lot of time looking at this to try to determine whether or not this is real bruising. And I think it is real bruising. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. This is a pretty brutal photo book. For those of you who read Hangul, there you go. And you'll see a lot of the same images or types of images from the postcards are throughout this photo book. Like close-ups of flowers, that's a theme. Close-ups of snails and frogs and dogs is a theme. And then lyrics, I believe. Another set of lyrics here. Gosh, this is so big. I can barely get it on camera. And Giriboy, I think he's cute. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but I think he's cute. He's weird. He's really weird. I've watched him on like different variety programs, and then I think he has either a podcast or some kind of series that he does on YouTube on the channel Hip Hopple, and he's a weirdo. He's a weirdo, but I dig it though. I dig it. I really do. I like the fact that he's so weird because he's very fearless. Like, he doesn't try to do things because that's what you expect a rapper to do. His lyrics are extremely honest a lot of the time, whether for the good or for bad. He also he's not afraid to make a political statement if he wants to, but he's also like not afraid to have fun. And when you see him, you might see him wearing a suit one day. You may see him wearing beanies and goggles the next day. You may see him in shorts and a hoodie the next day. Like, he's always doing something different. He always looks different. You may see him in haute couture and pony boots the next day. But I just think that's really awesome because it keeps you on your toes and it lets you know that he's still developing as an artist. A lot of artists feel like once you get established in a certain way, especially if that's what the public knows you for, then you need to stay that way. And that's not necessarily true. Like, the public does get bored of stuff after a while. I mean, not to throw shade on any particular artist, but let's take Card, for instance. People got tired of Latin trap. They really did. They got to a point where they're like, I don't want to hear Latin trap anymore. And by the time Card finally switched up styles, people had started to lose interest. I think people are gaining interest back into Card, and I think that's wonderful. But it is one of those deals where, you know, people want to see you grow. They want to see new things from you. They want to see you evolve. And yeah, there's a risk that you take when you are evolving because people might like what you did before and they may not like the new thing you do and they may not like the thing after that. But there's going to be other people who are going to be excited by the change. There are other people who are going to be floating on your same wavelength. And so being afraid to change because you don't want to lose, I think those are fish eyes, y'all. I think those are fish eyes. Ugh. Sorry. I don't like that kind of stuff. Anyway, being afraid to evolve because you don't want to lose an audience, in effect, it's almost doing the same thing as evolving because the audience that you're afraid to lose because of your lack of evolution, it narrows. People get bored and people move on. And you may have a diehard sect who are like, this is the style I like and I'm going to like this style forever. But then you're going to have another group of people who are going to be like, yeah, I've heard this before. Everything sounds the same. I'm moving on. It's Mickey Mouse in a mousetrap. And I'm trying to figure out if that is some sort of syrup or lube because it looks thicker than water. Am I the only one who feels like that looks thicker than water? But yeah, I wonder what that is. Some type of slimy substance. I guess. And then here is the blow up of the flower, which you guys should recognize. This is where the CD art comes from. So yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I've been guilty of wanting an artist to stay the same. A great example of me having an artist that I would prefer to stay the same is Jay Park. Personally, I think Jay Park as a singer is a far preferable artist than Jay Park the rapper, but that's me. That's me. But I also think that, you know, I'm right. But he can do whatever he wants to. There's a lot of rappers who sing and rap as well and act and everything else. There's a lot of multi-hyphenates out there. You know, in Korea you have Geiko, who's part of Dynamic Duo. He's actually a super talented R&B singer. A lot of people sleep on him because most of the singing he does is for his own projects. He doesn't really do a lot of singing features for other artists, but he's actually a really talented singer as well as a very talented rapper. Another example, I guess in America, you would pick somebody like Drake. You know, he's well known as a rapper, obviously, but some of his hottest songs are him basically singing to girls. So, yeah, you know, there's all of that. And then you have rappers who are also actors. Like, one of my favorite rappers of all time is Ice Cube. I just really, really like Ice Cube. There's something about him that just, he feels like family to me. Anyway, Ice Cube is a very talented screenwriter and actor, and he's made a lot more money in Hollywood than he's actually made as a rapper, writing movies like all of the Friday movies and Are We There Yet? And my personal favorite, The Players Club. So, you know, you have to take a chance on yourself. You have to bet on yourself and believe that the audience will follow. And even if the audience doesn't follow, if you believe in what you're doing and you're happy with what you're doing, then you'll get the fulfillment that you're looking for. Whether it's from outside or inside, you'll get the fulfillment you're looking for. And then here are the credits here for those that are interested. And he's got his Instagram and his musical Instagram connects there. And then the last picture of him, and I know you're thinking, oh, your camera's all blurry. No, the picture is blurry, I promise you. I'm going to close up on it a little bit. See, the picture is blurry. It's not my camera. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this unboxing. I know this is a little bit different than what you're used to on my channel. I mean, I've done unboxings on my channel before, but I know that this particular style and format is a little bit different. But it's a new year, and I wanted to do something different and something a little bit special. So this is what you got. I hope that you all have a great year this year. The theme of the video today obviously is taking chances. I hope that in 2020 you will bet on yourself. You will take a chance on yourself because you do deserve. So many of us are defined by our limitations. And I think that this is the year when you need to push past your limitations, because it's obvious that the world isn't going to wait for you. The world isn't going to make nice with you. The world is not going to cater to you. So this is the year when you bet on yourself. You make determinations for yourself and you strike out. Because what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that maybe some people won't accept it. Maybe some people won't be in favor of it. But if it's worth it to make yourself happy, I say go ahead. I say go ahead. Now's the time. All right, you guys. Thank you for joining me for this unboxing, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.